Having one of our pieces entombed or entrapped is a situation we'd all prefer to avoid in a chess game. Essentially, an entombed piece consists of a piece that has either little or no mobility, and if you look at the value chart, it is essentially devalued or worth much less than what it would be stated on the chart because it has no mobility. You can't use it. Let's go ahead and take a look at three different examples of an entombed piece. To start off, if you look at the board in front of us here, we have a knight, and that knight is on the A3 square right there. And the knight can move in these spots, but if you look a little bit closer, we'll notice that the knight is entombed. Why? Well, the bishop is blocking all of those spots. So essentially, white cannot use its knight in this particular game, and that devalues that piece. Now let's shift gears and take a look at an example of an entombed bishop. And if you look at this board in front of us here, we will notice that the bishop has limited or little mobility. Essentially, it has no mobility or influence on the game. While it can move in these two squares, it is essentially worth much less than it would if it had more control of the board. Now let's take a look at a third example here, and we are looking at the rook, and we're looking at the rook on the B1 square right there. Now we're going to zoom in on this to get a better view here. Now there's essentially three spots the rook could move, and none of these choices are good. If you look at the A1 square, that's not very good because the pawn can capture the rook and become as high as a queen, so that's a bad trade. If you look at the B2 square, that's not good for the rook because the bishop can capture it. And if you look at the C1 square, that is also not good for the rook because the pawn can recapture and become whatever piece it wants to. All three of these are bad trades, and essentially the rook is bunched in or entombed, and it can't do anything. So, in wrapping up, while we'd like to avoid having our pieces entombed or entrapped to a point where they have essentially no value for us, we won't always be able to do this, but we'd like to try to avoid those situations as much as possible. Thank you for watching.